family asks the following individuals to kindly come forward to serve as pallbearers this afternoon. Dan Rosenzweig, Bill Richblum, Mark Westerman, Jeff Westerman, Barry Snyder, David Karpels, Jonathan Bloomberg, and Ari Bloomberg. If you kindly come forward to the hearse now to line up so that we can start on time. Also, for those who want to participate in the Levaya, I realize there's too many people here for everyone to go, but maybe if some people could just help us to walk behind the Aron. It's a very short walk, but to be Malave, the Nifter. Gathered this afternoon for Kavod Achron, the Shmuel Ben Ruvain, and Justin Richblum, Zichron Livracha. We're going to begin with the recitation of a couple of chapters of Tehillim. We're going to open with chapter 30 from Tehillim, and we'll hear it first in English and then in Hebrew. So I'm going to ask Dan to kindly come forward to read it for us in English. There's a favorite Tehillim that Bob Zichron Livracha really loved, and that unfortunately we recited not only at his Levaya, but also at Diane's Levaya, and we'll recite it at Justin's as well.
A Psalm of David, a song for the dedication of the house. I will exalt you, Lord, for you have lifted me up, and not let my enemies rejoice over me. Lord, my God, I cried to you for help, and you healed me. Lord, you lifted my soul from the grave. You spared me from going down to the pit. Sing to the Lord, you his devoted ones, and give thanks to his holy name. For his anger is for a moment, but his favor for a lifetime. At night there may be weeping, but in the morning there is joy. When I felt secure, I said, I shall never be shaken. Lord, when you favored me, you made me stand firm as a mountain. But when you hid your face, I was terrified. To you, Lord, I called. I pleaded with my Lord. What gain would there be if I died and went down to the grave? Can dust thank you? Can it declare your truth? Hear, Lord, and be gracious to me. Lord, be my help. You have turned my sorrow into dancing. You have removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy, so that my soul may sing to you and not be silent. Lord, my God, forever will I thank you.
Mizmor Chanukat Habayit David. Aromimcha Adonai ki dilitani v'lesimachta oivai li. Adonai Elohai shivati elecha v'tir pa'eni. Adonai ha'elita min she'ol nafshi. Chi tanim yor divor. Zamru l'Adonai chasidav v'hod l'zecher kodsho. כי רגע באפו חיים ברצונו, בערב ילין בכי ולבוקר רינה. ואני אמרתי בשלוי, בעל אמות לעולם, אדוני ברצונך העמדת על הרי עוז, הסתרת לפניך הייתי נבהל. אליך אדוני אקרא, ואל אדוני אתחנן. מה בצע בדמי ברידתי על שחט, היודך עפר אגיד עמיתך, שמע אדוני וחונני, אדוני היה עוזר לי. הפכת מספדי למחולי, פיתחת שקי ותעזרני שמחה, למען זמרך כבוד ולא ידום, אדוני אלוהי לעולם אודך. The 23rd chapter of the Psalms, you're welcome to follow along in the English in the service folder. I'll recite it in the traditional Hebrew. Mizmor David, Adonai ro'i lo echsar, b'nodeh sheyar b'tzeini, al me'emenu chotin haleni, nafshi yishovev nichalim agmaglei tzedek l'man shemo, gam ki elech begeit sal mavet lo irara, ki ata yimadi, shivtecha umishantecha hema yinachamuni, ta'aroch lefanai shulchan, neged sorai, dishanta v'shemen roshi kosi revaya, ach tov v'chesed yedefuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti b'veit Adonai le'orech yamim. Justin was born on the 28th day of June in 1991, on the 16th day of Tammuz of Tafshin Nun Aleph, and he was nifter on Nisan Tafshin Pei Gimel. So we gather this afternoon, eyes filled with tears. It feels, though it is the Chodesh that is filled with light, in so many ways, like we've been plunged into darkness. It feels Be'erev Yalin Bechi. And we'll hear some words of reflection now from people who knew him very well and who know him very well still. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do justice to Justin's personality and his legacy for two reasons. The first reason is because it's Chodesh Nisan and you're not allowed to give eulogies in the month of Nisan. So joyous is this month, the Chachamim decided that the month would overtake, and we don't deliver eulogies. Nonetheless, words of tribute are still in order, and we will offer those today. And the second reason, and one that I think strikes most of us, if not all of us, to the heart and to the core, is that we're not just mourning the past, but today we are mourning a future that will not be, and a legacy that will not be beyond this day, unless we choose to make it so. So we're going to have certain people who will speak, members of the family and friends who have prepared in advance some remarks. Of course, there are many people who have reflections, and we'll leave that for the Shiva that will take place at the Bloomberg residence for the next couple of days, and then in Connecticut after that. So we'll hear this afternoon from Rachel, and then from Daniel Lapson, Mikey Weiss, and Noam Beitner, and from Justin's Uncle Bill. So I ask Rachel to kindly come forward to offer the first of the words of reflection this afternoon.
Thank you for being here today. What I'm left here trying to reconcile is, where does the disease of addiction end and Justin begin? Addiction made Justin hard to pin down, but Justin always liked to keep people on their toes anyway. Addiction made Justin an outsider of sorts, but Justin always liked to be controversial anyway. Addiction made Justin spend all his money, but Justin always liked really nice things anyway. Addiction made Justin wired differently, but Justin was always special anyway. Addiction made Justin sick and in a position to fight for his life every single day. But Justin was loving, irrevocably loyal, kind, trusting, hopeful, and enigmatic anyway. Addiction made Justin a community that would rally behind him, and Justin knew that his friends and family loved him so fiercely anyway. May it be for a blessing that Justin doesn't have to reconcile where his addiction ends and his true self begins any longer.
Justin Richmond was truly one of one. There is no person in this world like Justin. I met Justin the summer after 8th grade. We were in the same summer school class taking biology at Niles North. Whenever we would argue about anything, something, even 15 years later, he would always remember to bring up and jokingly say, Remember when you used to cheat off me in biology? That was Justin. He always knew how to put a smile on your face, no matter the situation. Justin and I instantly hit it off. We both had a deep love for sports, which Justin got from his dad. Justin was my go-to guy to talk whenever anything big would happen in the sports world. I would send him a tweet or a text with a big update, and then immediately he would send back his analysis. We'd go back and forth giving our opinions until he ultimately said, so-and-so needs to go to the Lakers to help LeBron. Justin loved LeBron. We both loved video games and reality TV. When we lived together during our time at YU, Justin was always trying to pull some shtick. So he used to turn the TV onto the Kardashians, hide the remote, and then leave the room. He would walk in 5 to 10 minutes later with a huge smile on his face, acting as if he did nothing. When I got the call yesterday, as I'm sure many others here had the same reaction, this can't be real, this can't be happening. Part of me is still holding out hope that right now I'll look up and see Justin standing in the back, rubbing his nose, trying to get me to smile while I'm speaking. That's who Justin was. Always wanted to make you feel comfortable and happy. Always knew how to make a situation feel lighter. Rachel and Dan. Justin was a brother to me, to all of us. We will always be your family through the ups and downs. Justin, I love you, man. Please forgive me. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you more. I hope that you're watching down on us and smiling about all the good times we had together. I love you, bud.
All right. So to follow up to that, as a way of paying tribute to Justin after an 18-year irreplaceable friendship. October 6, 2010, at 9:15 p.m., I received a phone call. It was about my sister passing. When I finished that phone call, the first person I saw was Justin Reichblum. When Justin saw me, he goes, "What's going on, man?" I'm like, I don't know what to say. And he goes, "Let's just sit down and talk." In that conversation, Justin made it very clear to me that no matter what, he was going to be there for me. When losing a sibling in life, Rachel, it's so important to understand that the people around you are what will help you get through that. For me, interestingly enough, the one who helped me get through that was our Justin. Justin and I, from 2005 to 2014, leading all the way to the day of my wedding, were what we would call best of friends. From school classes to endless full weekend sleepovers at the Reichblums, the Bloombergs. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jonathan. To basketball teams, being college roommates for a period of time like Daniel, and to having Justin be one of the 3 best men at my wedding. Justin was more to me than a friend. Like I said, he was my brother. This is a major loss for all of us here today. Everyone here today has a relationship with Justin. As we all know, these relationships differ drastically. Some of you may have known Justin as a friend, some as a relative, and some as a brother, and some as a comedian even. But what I'll ask of all of you is that everyone here take the time to hear the following words and hold on to them through this horrible tragedy. As Justin told me in 2010, and I told him, when your parents each passed, take this loss day by day. Lean on me, your brother, for whatever you need, because no matter what else happens in life, we will get through this together, no matter what. During Justin's and my relationship, over the most recent years with all the challenges that came with daily life, as some of us may know, it was Justin's and my primary goal to have Justin, your brother, one day build a legacy. It's true, Rachel, he liked nice things. It's true that he loved all of us. And I personally wanted to ensure to see that goal be achieved. So it's my commitment, and those of you who can take on commitments, do what you got to do, and should be whoever wants it to be here today to see his vision through on his behalf. This is not the last you'll hear of Justin Reichblum. In fact, I believe it's just the beginning. One day we'll be able to look at a legacy that Justin was able to enrich other people's lives the way he did with mine and most of yours. Justin, may you rest close to your parents and send all of our love to those two as we miss them as well.
I keep thinking to myself, Justin wants me to mess up this eulogy so badly. He would have the best laugh. He could always make me smile even when things were dark. Justin, it breaks my heart to have to say goodbye to you this way. I love you so much, and so does everyone else here today. I and everyone else are going to miss you tremendously. I was a year older than Justin and all his closest friends. It wasn't until we were in college that I was fortunate enough to become a close friend of his. I learned quickly that being a close friend with Justin came with many strings attached. The only strings I would ever trade is for more time with Justin. Justin loved all of us and had something special and different with each of his closest friends. I have countless memories with Justin. Some we could talk about and some we can't. The only memory I could think about right now is Sunday afternoon when I got to spend all day with him after not seeing him in person for 3 years. We had the best day. Ari and Kobe brought their sons to scooter around Old Orchard, and Justin was busting Ari's chops about where Ari should buy his cardigan. After roaming around in the rain and not buying anything, we went back to Ari's and hung out like old times. Non-stop banter with Heather, Ari, and the kids. After Ari put the kids to sleep, we went to Shallott's and met up with Bern and Aaron. It was such a special evening that I will cherish forever. The only thing missing from that dinner was the rest of Justin's crew. Mikey, Justin was so excited to surprise you at the Bris. He loved you with all his heart. Rachel and Dan, I love the Reichblum family so much, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Justin, please watch over us and try not to play too many games on us. I will love you forever and can't even begin to explain how much we are all going to miss you. I love you, dude.
Thank you all for coming. Rachel, I was thinking, in the vernacular, we use the expression of a battling disease. And this disease is a ruthless disease. But from the words that you guys all spoke, and from what everyone here knows about Justin, I keep thinking of all of his successes through this disease, and the successes and the obstacles he overcame. In especially recent years, he approached those successes with such humility and honesty and empathy and love. And as you all knew him so well from here, everyone I knew who knew Justin in Washington and all of his cousins and the other relatives, people thought of Justin as someone with such warmth and such ease and such sweetness and such a great smile. And that's not just the way we thought of Justin, it will be the way we think of Justin. Thank you.
Before we proceed with the burial, just want to reflect on some of the educational history of Justin Reichblum. His bar mitzvah was Parshat Vayishlach at Temple Shalom in Greenwich, Connecticut, Thanksgiving weekend, 2004. Later, it would be that same location where Rachel and Dan would be married, and Justin was honored with the bracha achrita, the seventh of the seven blessings under the chuppah. And there we danced together, all of us. He began his schooling career at Temple Shalom in Connecticut, and then North Street School in Connecticut, and then in Glencoe here at West School, then at Royce-Moore. He was zocheh to have a Jewish education at Ida Crown Jewish Academy. We acknowledge the presence of Rabbi Leonard Matanki, the Dean of Ida Crown Jewish Academy, where he learned Torah. Justin, after he graduated, was zocheh to study in Yeshivat Yesod. It's a division of Or Sameach in Yerushalayim, Yer HaKodesh. Then he went to Turo, then to Yeshiva University. Then he graduated with a degree in business from Yeshiva University. Many people don't know, but I, for a period of time, was zocheh to have a secret, not so secret now, chavruta with Justin. When he lived here, when he lived in the Optima, in that period, it was a very hard period in all of our lives, especially for the Reichblum family. But we'd get together, we would learn. We kept it light, we kept it brief, but he would come visit me, we'd sit, we'd talk a little bit. I have a beautiful picture on my phone from January of 2018 when he moved into the Optima apartment. And I was bugging him, when are you going to put up the mezuzahs? Yeah, you're going to come over, Rabbi. So I did finally get there. I have a beautiful picture of him putting up the mezuzah on the front door. I still remember he made the bracha, he was smiling. And as I was reminding him what he said to me before Bob's funeral, I asked him, give me a reflection about your father, Zichrono Livracha. He said, Rabbi, he believed in second chances. I still remember when he said that to me. And I've reflected on it when some of these very challenging times have come for your beloved family. And also when I've seen, as Bill just mentioned now, so many successes notwithstanding so many incredible challenges. In March of that challenging year, in 2017, I actually sent him guidelines for what's called the Recovery Seder workshop. And it goes through every step of the Haggadah for a person who's struggling and who's in recovery in a process. And every stage, like, how do you relate it to your situation? So I went back and I looked at it again late last night. On the section Halach Ma'anya, this is the bread of affliction that we all recite at the beginning of the Haggadah. There's a question underneath there. How do I use my own affliction and suffering to help other people? To me, that's a question that reverberates today, and that in the words, the loving words of friends, those who spoke, but also those who I spoke to and interacted with, a very challenging time over the last period, just now, right now. I hope that each of us will be able to use this time for something as a springboard to help others. Ari and Heather, who were zochim to host Justin in the last hours of his life, with such love, did they welcome him to their home, the friends who took him out. And he was here for a Dvar Mitzvah, for Mikey's son's bris, so sein gesund und stark. He skipped through. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but he came. He's here. Yeah. So something for us to think about as we're going to the mitzvah now of the burial, which is also a mitzvah, even though it's a mitzvah that is maror to each and every one of us. In closing, Matchil begenut Messiah b'shvach. We begin speaking about denigration and challenge, and difficulty and tragedy. But in the end, the siyum, the end of all things, is about praise. Rav Asher Weiss, the great Gadol in Yerushalayim, asks, there's so many things that we could have asked about Aman Ishtana, like why these things? And he says, basically, the leaning shows us freedom, and the Mara shows us servitude. The matzah is both affliction and also that which we took on the way out. The dipping action is both to remind us of the mortar and the bricks, but also a way of royalty that dips. So it comes down to this question. Is the Seder a memorial to sadness or a recollection of redemption? How do we want this experience, this horrific moment, to impact us moving forward? As an end, or as a beginning of trying to think about how will we help others from our own suffering and affliction? And we'll remember the legacy of Justin Shmuel ben Ruvain. Tehei nishmat tzrua b'tzorah chaim. May his soul be bound in the bond of everlasting life. Today we remember his grandparents, Robert and Ruth Westerman. Of course, his parents, Bob and Diane, Zichronam Livracha. Reuven ben Charles and Meira bat Reuven, Zichronam Livracha, invoke their names. We offer condolences to grandparents Chuck and Audrey Richblum, who are watching on the live stream. I tried to reach out to them earlier today. We send our condolences to them and to Bob Myers. The aunts and uncles who are here, Bill and Amelie, Jeff, Mark and Ellen. And we send our love and regards to Meira Avigail, Ruby Diane, who Justin was zoche to meet, and Rachel and Dan's beautiful daughter. And Rachel and Dan offer you condolences on behalf of the community as we go to this last thing that we can do to tend to the physical needs of Shmuel ben Ruvain. After that, the question will be, where do we take the legacy? Will it just be a recollection of sadness, or as you have spoken so beautifully today, about coming to so many challenges and surmounting them? So much adversity, but so much success, so much sadness, but also having brought so much joy to so many in our community and so many friends. Tehei nishmat tzrua b'tzorah chaim. We'll continue now with the Kavura and the Kriya. we're going to proceed with the kavura, with the burial now. For those who are unfamiliar, we don't consign the burial or any aspect of the care of our loved ones, even post-mortem, to others. We take care of it ourselves. And that involves a community coming forward. If you feel comfortable, I ask you just the first 3 shovels, you use the back of the shovel to show that even though it's a mitzvah, we're not doing it with any sense of alacrity or enthusiasm, but this is what we have to do to try to tend to the needs of Shmuel ben Reuven. Also, we don't hand the shovel to anybody else. You put it back down into the earth so the next person can take it. So we'll proceed right now with the burial for those who feel comfortable participating. And because it's the month of Nisan, the Jewish month of Nisan, we don't say the Kelmole. We say that in this month is what's called a Hamtakat Hadin, a sweetening of the judgment. Nonetheless, of course, we're going to say the Kaddish, so we say one chapter of Tehillim, and with the express permission of his parents, Mikey's going to recite the Kaddish on behalf of his friend at the request of Rachel and the family. Yichtamu David, Shamreni Elki Chasiti Vach, Amart Ladonai Adonai Ata Tovati Bal Alecha, Likdoshim Asher Ba'aretz Hema Va'direi Kol Chefzivam Yirbu At Tzivotam Acher Maharu Bal Asich Niskea Midam Uval Esa Et Shmotam Al Sfatai Adonai Menat Chelki V'chosi Atatumich Gorali Chavalim Naflu Li Baneimim Af Nachalat Shafara Alai Avarech et Adonai asher ye'atzani, af leilot yisruni chilyotai. Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid, ki mimini bal emot, lachein samach libi vayagel kvodi, af besari yishkon lavetach, ki lo ta'azov nafshi lishaol, lo titein chasidcha lirot shachat, todi'eni orach chaim sovasmachot et panecha, ni'imot biyamincha netzach. Regular Kaddish, yeah.
Yisrael Shmei Rabo, Bamali Brakutei, Yamich Makutei, B'chai Chom Yamichon, B'chai Dechol Beit Yisrael, B'golav Yisman Karivim, Amen. V'hei Shmei Rabo Mevayrach, L'amei, Omayo, Yisparach, V'ishtabach, V'isbar, V'isramam, V'isnasei, V'isadar, V'isala, V'isalal, Shmei Dekucha, B'richu, L'elamin Kol B'chata V'shirata, Tush B'chata V'nechemata, Tamira B'elma, V'imramein. Yesh Samar bin Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael v'Ramein. Oseh Shalom b'Ramav, hu yaseh Shalom aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael v'Ramein.
This concludes our service here today. We're going to make the shura now on the way out, the transition from Yikara de Shechva to Yikara de Chaye, from the honor of the deceased to the honor of those who are bereaved and the mourners. And we'll form two lines right here. The Shiva is going to take place at the Bloomberg residence in the Silvers folder, the address, for the next couple of days here in Chicago. And then Dan and Rachel will be traveling back to the East Coast, and they'll continue the Shiva there. So you ask you to form two lines over here, and we'll ask the Velim to pass through. Okay.
Pastor offering condolences for the first time as they become mourners in Shiva, return to Shmuel and Ruvain, plant Yishalom, to know something new. Now we step forward to break the line, which we got in